Hey, what's going on, everybody? Greetings. Greetings to you from about 3 p.m. Thursday, November 18th, 2021. I'm looking at the pound against the dollar chart and against market cipher on the daily. Daily market cipher B down here. I drew a couple things on here with the trend line. So what I'm checking out is so basically what I'm looking at is what I'm seeing is we had this trend line down here, broke past it, right? So I remember the last time I made a video about this. We had come up, touched it, and I did like a recap on just how it happened, my idea of what happened, like my perception of how it goes, and coming down in this small little triangle here, and then what are we gonna do? Like, and then boom, we popped out, hopped onto, this is the hour. So I'm still, kind of figuring out which um, SMA, EMA, what moving averages are respected most in this. I mean, the 21 across most things seems like a place that traders like to hop in and out of, depending on the time frame. Daily is a little stronger than the minute chart, of course. So um, where I've been focusing on, and seems to make a little more sense to me. And I'm kind of digging the swing trading. So anyway, so here we are, moving on up, moving on up. Right now we got this spinning top here. Almost flirting with doji status. Anyway, this is where we're sitting on the 18th, and then tomorrow we got the beaver moon, the full moon. I put that in there because a lot of people are talking about the full moons and stuff, and so I figured I wanted to, check it myself. I wanted to put all the moons in there. I was thinking about putting the new moons too, and just, um, seeing if there's any legitimacy to it. Now, I know there is some legitimacy to it, just based on my experience. I do a lot of meditating. I do a lot of reflection. Um, when it comes to my health, I I go by what I feel. I go by my body. I read a lot. I study a lot about health. I study a lot about everything. But um, at the end of the day, I go by my own experience of something. And I do notice that full moons, people act a little differently. Um, things are a little more unstable. So yeah, I do think there's something to it. I mean, if we're gonna sit here and assert that we know everything about how the world works and the cosmos works, then I think that's just hubris talking. Um, I also think that just jumping head first into like a belief is just as foolish. Uh, so yeah, I don't know why, but I do think there is something to it. Like take the word lunatic for instance. Where's my MF in lunatic? Lunatic. Luna means moon. If you're a lunatic, that means you're crazy during the moon cycle. That's where that word comes from. Um, I think that's just a factor, like in the case for the moon has some sort of factor. When I try to, I mean, you could look at this and be like, oh, there was the moon, and then actually that wasn't it was on October the 20th. You're like, oh, there it is, and then it dumped down. It's like, yeah, maybe. I haven't explored it that much, but I thought it's the beaver moon, so I'll make sure y'all get it in on that full moon, and then you'll have done your job with the gods. Um, so now when it comes to this, we do, we have a divergence here. We have a higher low on the momentum. We do have this longer divergence with the money flow, um, increasing. It's negative, it's red, but increasing. So the money is flowing out. However, it's the rate at which it's flowing out is decreasing. Actually, I can't say that because I don't know everything that goes into this money flow indicator. I don't know if it's a rate or if it's a number, like a static number. I don't know if it's an acceleration, so I can't really make a claim to that. What I can say is that money flow, as far as this indicator goes, when it's deep in the red here, that's an indication that money is flowing out. When it's decreasing away from the zero line, so it's like negative but going towards zero, that means it's increasing. So money flow is increasing. At some point, we're going to hit the zero. And so why I'm putting so much significance on that against market ciphers is because if you watch any of CryptoFace's videos, um, and you just watch the old school, um, like how to use market cipher strategies, what you'll see is money flow used heavily, momentum waves used heavily, and those are the main ones: money flow, momentum on market cipher B. I don't use market cipher A as much. Um, it's just not my. I, at one point, I started to like just using market cipher B, and that's all I do. So and then you're looking for an anchor wave and a trigger wave. What you're looking for on the anchor wave is a wave that's deep, preferably past the 60, deep in there. And then you're looking for a trigger wave that's smaller than that, but further up. And you're looking for these momentum waves to do kind of the same thing as this money flow. They're increasing, or I mean, they're deep, but decreasing in size since they're negative relative to zero. And then eventually they'll, be going up on the positive. So we have this coming up, these sort of staying down here, but coming up. There's a bunch of momentum coming out, but they're slightly increasing. So now we have on the price action, and that's where we get our divergences from. And a divergence means that the direction of the two are disagreeing. So we have price flowing down, momentum sort of staying level, but starting to go creeping up a little bit. And then what I'm kind of looking for is we have this big push down, these big knives down, and then um, so relative, it's it's diverging. Um, and so what I'm looking for is a smaller one over here, and basically I don't know how much, but um, I'm expecting it to change direction, from this direction to move into at least flat or up. Usually there's like some sort of double bottom, but when you have this divergence here, I mean, almost almost always. No, I won't say that. But what I will see is a dip, and then not a level dip, but an even bigger dip here. And then when you have that bigger dip with that littler dip here, then it's almost like a spring, and then it wants to boom, sling on up. So yeah, got that. And then so what exactly I'm looking at right here is, I see this spinning top. It's a bullish spinning top, which means possible continuation. But like, what do we have to run into? I could pull up all kinds of like lines and Bollinger Bands and SMAs, EMAs and stuff. But right now, I'm just working with the daily. This 21 and some lines that I've drawn in market structure. So yeah, we are in a downtrend on market structure, but I'm looking, but we have the divergence, so it's like keep an eye out for the divergence. Means some sort of change in direction from this negative to possibly a flat or even back up. When I see this big, this big-ish run up here, I gotta lock that. Um, and so I'm still learning pound against the dollar, but the fibs are seem pretty legit. I've used them on Bitcoin, Confluence against um, spider lines, and I wish I knew more about like spider lines or like how they work and stuff because I do think there's something to it. I don't think that they're just lines, randomly drawn, randomly cast throughout, and like you're just like, oh, they're happened to hit that one. I don't think so. Like I've made trade after trade of like placing an order right above that line like this. Like I did this one. No, it was this one today, just right here. The trade was in right here, and then boom, it came down, pushed, snagged it, and then came back up. I had to sell. I had the sell order up in here, and I'm leaving it because a lot of times, it'll like retest that line and then pop back up, and then just barely snag it. Like there was this one over here. Where was it? Oh man, I was like so bummed that it didn't hit my thing. Um, was it at the 42? Oh yeah, it was this. It was either this one or this one. Which one was it? I think it was this one. Yeah, because it was before the dump to 42. The dump. It wasn't really like a dump. Before the pullback to 42, it was this one. I had my um I had my order in. I think it was from this one, and I was like, oh great, we're going all the way back down, and my close was right here, and then it wicked up here, and I was so pissed. I was like, dude, come on. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get out of this and then the next day it went whap, and then came back down. Of course, at this time I was looking at the hour charts, like 30-minute chart, so I was like tripping over every bar, but um, no, that one was pretty legit. Anyway, back to the pound. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. What I see, I had this magenta line coming down here across these, and we broke out past this. Like, you know, I'm still learning this stuff like you, but when I see this, pop out, close above it, then I mean it's pretty clear past this line here. And you can tell that people were respecting this line, taking trades off that line. Even when you zoom into this smaller area here, you can see people buying and selling like in this tiny little triangle here all the way to the end, like buy some, and then it hops over the SMA and then continues on up. It's like it gets pushed down, like so much pressure is put when it does this like downward triangle because um, you know the way I'm thinking about it is we're on the daily here. We're on the daily. So other people that are looking to trade are looking at the lowest points here that the price has gotten to, a lot higher likely of a spot that, other people are going to hop into. So traders are like, okay, where's my most conservative bet? Right around this area. So pretty strong support area. Um, I have it in this box because it's kind of like a range, you know. Um, I haven't studied, what is a supply zone zone versus what is a demand zone is. So I can't like say that's exactly what that is because I don't know. I still am such a novice at this compared to some people, but I mean, this general zone is like where I'm looking for buys, like just looking at this chart, this area when I'm, seeing this divergence here. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. And so I have these tops marked out. Again, this is like a little range for me here. Um, and I'm expecting price maybe, so like 3 spots really that price could get, um, that price would likely to go to before it bounces, if I'm just using these things, which I'm pretty much just sticking with, are 21, the top of our zone, and then the top of our trend line. So those 3 spots. And if we are bullish on pound against the dollar based on the daily money flow, then we're favoring the upside longer term. As far as like longer term goes, and then I'm updating like this line here to kind of match like what this money flow, like trying to match what the money flow is, and then um, I'm placing a line on where I expect the money flow to cross over under the zero. Why didn't that go yellow? Oh, what is that? I don't know what that line is. I'm getting rid of it. So there's actually more over here. Oh, I'm adjusting that line, and that's part of the market cipher strategy. You do that and then mark your line, and then um, mark approximately where you expect the money flow to cross over, and that's where you're expecting to at least hold that trade till. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you're marking approximately where you think um, like how high the money flow could get before it wants to come back. And so that's right here. Boom. And so we're expecting to buy in the red, sell in the green. We have approximate spots for where we expect to do that. And then we got to, where the rubber meets the road is the price, where you buy it and where you sell it. Am I going to have to, hop out of this um, before I want to take an L on it, and then I mean, probably I'm just like, it depends on how strong this trend line is. Anyway, was my entry right there. I already talked about it, and so yeah, I mean that's what I'm looking for. And if it turns out that I just shit the bed with it and whatever, I'm studying. This is like my studying and including you in the process. Um, so that's what I'm looking at. Approximate what the 6th of December, money flow crossing over into the green, and then 2nd of February for peak green. So yeah, and then price action again. That's where it matters. The price at which you buy in the price at which you sell. The price at which you sell. So that's pound against the dollar for just a little update. What I'm looking at, and I hope this was entertaining for you. Maybe you learned a couple things. I would really highly recommend looking at like some other people that actually know what they're talking about. Of course, I'm always gonna show Crypto Face because I mean he's a man. But um, moving average, I think is a really legit channel. Jason Casper, I think it's just Jason Casper, his channel, really legit. I mean, there's tons. Those are just the top 3 that I have taken the most copious notes from, um, and who I still regularly look at for like a legit. I mean, I'll look at Rayner stuff, trading with Rayner. Um, I like his his kinds of. I've taken notes and just like studied. I'll Zip Trader. He's cool. I don't do a ton of stock stuff that much, like the high plays and all all that quite as much, just because I like the chart. I like the charting better, just personally, and and especially when it comes to Bitcoin, because I don't know. It's just I think there's something. It's cool how Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's a. I know all the markets are worldwide, but Bitcoin is 24/7. It doesn't sleep. Everybody in the world has access to it to buy and sell Bitcoin, more or less. Um, but it's not just a localized phenomenon, no, not a localized market like just the U.S. or whatever. And I know there's global players, and the global players highly influence the markets. But Bitcoin, I do think there's something significant about it, and I think there's a lot more to charting and where the price can go than I think there's a lot more to it than what we give credit to charts, you know, and there it's not like an exact dead nuts, Nat's ass kind of thing. Like, oh, on this friggin' day right here at this minute, the price is gonna be this, because I think I human free will has a factor in it, and we're getting into like belief zone here, but yeah, I think Bitcoin specifically, and then um, but this video is mainly focused on pound against the dollar, so that's uh that's that. Check out these guys. Check out Marcus Cipher, and if you watch CryptoFace's stuff, um, it's I mean he talks about some really he talk I mean just listen to him. You'll glean a lot of information, and you'll probably even get some stuff. Like last night, he did a Bitcoin giveaway on Bingo, and dude, I almost friggin' yeah. Anyway, he did like a password to get in. Um, I didn't get it. Kind of bummed. I mean, not the password. I didn't get to win Bingo, but he uh he does that. So I thought that was cool. If you did, that was the first time I saw that. Um, yeah, check out some of those other guys to get your knowledge up, and really what we're doing here is if you're starting, if you're new, you're interested in it, um, interested in trading. My reason for getting into it is because I see that the global players have they still have like they have a grip on the world's money. And but the thing about it is money is energy. It's a representation of energy. Oh my freaking okay. It's a representation of energy. But what the bankers have done, and this it's not a new concept, but what they've done is they've taken a note and said, "Hey, this note is worth this much energy. One note equals 1 unit of energy. This is how much." And then they go, "Okay, we're going to do fractional reserve lending." Um, Back in the day, and then they needed like 50% reserves, and then they convinced everybody, "Oh, we just need 25%," and then, "Oh, we just need 1%." Oh, and now guess what? I mean, it's 0%. They don't need to carry any money in the bank at all. They can lend. They can lend out. That means they can lend infinitely. This is finite. They can only lend as much. They can lend 99% out. So that means when you put in that means when you put in to the bank, you give Bank of America one unit of energy, $1. They take your dollar and they lend out 99 cents of it to represent 99 times that in order to represent your 1 unit of energy. And as long as you don't come and take back your unit of energy, they can lend it out, but they don't even need that anymore. It's zero. So I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Um, anyway, that's how like the Federal Reserve. I mean, the Federal Reserve creates the money based on debt. When the, basically when someone needs a loan, they create money. The dollar, the dollar is a unit of debt, meaning it's an IOU basically. So the money, that's how the money's created. It's a big freaking it's just accounting magic. That's all it is. It's one big like illusion, really, right? So anyway, it's a unit of energy. But um energy, yeah, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only transform. So that means there's a finite amount of energy. Um, where it comes from, I mean, the sun beams down energy onto here, so it must be increasing somehow, right? But that's what is it? Newton's um, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Oh my gosh, I gotta learn how to type. Fact or fiction? Scientific American, your trusted source on probably BS. Law of conservation of energy. Energy is neither created. Law of conservation. I'm pretty sure that was like oh gosh, conservation of energy. Oh well, you get the picture. Conservation energy can't be created or destroyed. So that's true. It just changes. Then that means here's the big thing. Then what that means is the world's wealth just transfers around. It doesn't mean it's being sucked out of existence. Like when your purchasing power, you know, like how we talked about um, your unit of energy, like the 8 hours you put into work every day, that's work that you put in, and then you're given a dollar or whatever to represent the work that you did. Then you take that note of energy and give it to someone else. This means, hey, this is a representation of energy. Give it to someone else. It just transfers around. So when that inflation is just basically inflation just means they're sapping the energy out of the note. Um, I mean that's all that by creating more notes to represent the same unit of energy. So that's what that is. However, that energy, it's not going to be created or destroyed. It's not going to be destroyed, that's for sure. It's not going to be destroyed. So it's got to go somewhere else. And it is. But here's what's awesome about Bitcoin. I mean, in other cryptos too. is that, or other assets too, is that those things are indivisible on a ledger. You got a Bitcoin, you got a tiny amount of Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not, you can't like fudge around with it. Once you start lending against it and stuff, but then you're lending using a um, different form of, you know, currency. You're using dollars, lending against Bitcoin. But that's what's cool about it. It's a way for the world, for everybody to take back their power, because energy, money, is a form of power. So, uh, ultimately, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. We're getting educated on energy and educating ourselves on how to manage that energy. And we're getting educated on really how educating on the system of the world's power, how it works. We're looking at the machine, figuring it out. So yeah, that's that. And that's why we're doing this, because we believe that there's something more to this system. We believe that the system is relatively unjust in the way it currently is. Um, and we want to do something about it. And those of you that are in this right now studying it, you're going to, if you honestly study and work hard at it, you are going to reap the rewards, because also another thing, you reap, oh my, I like totally kill my, you reap what you sow. You do. And you reap what you sow. What you put in is what you get out. And that's the cool thing about leverage, is if you can put in more than you have, then you're going to get out more than you have. But don't dick around with leverage too much. Um, things will grow. Things grow. And yeah, I mean, it's just like a seed. You plant a seed, it grows. At some point, you can harvest from the tree. Um, you know, just try not to cut it down before it's mature. And that's that. That is that. Have a great weekend and Thanksgiving if I don't see you.